In today's video, we're breaking down all the EastEnders spoilers for next week, from Monday the 19th through to Thursday the 22nd. And trust me, this is a week where old wounds are ripped wide open and some very dangerous decisions are made. We'll be talking about Kat Slater's explosive return, Zoe's shock decision in prison, Jasmine going into full survival mode, and the pressure building across the Branning, Mitchell and Panesar families. By the end of the week, loyalties will be tested, trust will be broken, and at least one choice could change everything in Walford. So, let's get straight into it. Monday 19th. Kat returns and the truth starts cracking. Monday kicks off with a bang as Kat Slater makes an emotional return to Walford, and she doesn't waste a second easing back in. Kat dives straight into unfinished business, taking Jasmine with her to visit Zoe in prison, and it's here that Zoe drops a bombshell. She's decided to plead guilty, insisting that everything she did was in self-defense. Kat is completely horrified by this. She urges Zoe to finally tell the police the truth about Chrissy, believing that it could weaken the case and change everything. But Zoe refuses. Her fear isn't about herself, it's about Jasmine. Zoe is convinced that dragging Chrissy into it could put Jasmine in serious danger, and she won't take that risk. Back on the square, Jasmine reassures Kat that she'll speak to the police anyway, but it's painfully clear she's lying. Instead, Jasmine quietly starts planning her escape. Her goal is simple and terrifying: to leave Walford with Oscar and cut all ties for good. Meanwhile, over at Ravi's, Priya insists that Nugget move into the flat so she can keep a close eye on both him and Ravi. Ravi agrees, but his emotional distance after recent events creates an unbearable tension in the house. Nugget quickly misreads Ravi's emotional distance as rejection. When he finally confronts Ravi about not visiting him in hospital, Ravi snaps. The argument threatens to spiral out of control until Priya steps in, desperately trying to stop her family from falling apart. Tuesday, 20th. Panic, lies, and a public showdown. By Tuesday, Jasmine is in full panic mode. She insists that she, Oscar, and the kids must leave Walford immediately. Oscar isn't convinced, and this is where Max Branning steps in, trying to calm things down and urging Oscar not to make a reckless decision. Jasmine then lies to Kat once again, claiming she's already given a statement to the police, but Max sees straight through it. He confronts Jasmine about her plan to run away with Oscar, and their argument is explosive. Unbeknownst to them, Cindy overhears everything. Later, Cindy warns Max that Jasmine is far more dangerous than he realizes, and that this situation could spiral very quickly. When the row spills out in front of Oscar, he's left torn between the two adults he trusts most. But instead of backing down, Jasmine raises the stakes. She causes a dramatic scene inside the Vic, drawing the attention of everyone in the pub. The square watches on as the situation turns deeply uncomfortable and deeply worrying. Elsewhere, Ricky organises a surprise birthday party for Phil at Raymond's request, hoping to lift his spirits. But the mood darkens when Ricky begins to suspect that Sam is planning to leave Walford again. Later, George finds Sam with a letter about her upcoming lumpectomy and gently encourages her to be honest. Sam finally opens up to Ricky about her diagnosis, and he promises he's not going anywhere. Meanwhile, Ravi tries to push Nugget into going back outside and returning to normal life, but the pressure backfires badly when Nugget becomes overwhelmed and suffers a panic attack. Wednesday, 21st. Manipulation and temptation. On Wednesday, Max flatly denies Jasmine's claims, insisting she's twisting the truth, but Jasmine refuses to back down and doubles down on her lies. The result? Oscar becomes even more confused, isolated, and emotionally torn as the adults around him battle for control. Elsewhere, George is left deflated when his offer to buy Walford East is turned down. Nicola offers to step in and invest, but George refuses, wary of crossing boundaries and mindful of Billy's earlier warning. That said, the temptation is clearly still there. Over with the Mitchells, Sam tries to talk Phil out of taking Nigel to Portugal, sensing that Phil is running away rather than dealing with what's really going on. At Beale HQ, Ian is furious when he learns Elaine has struck a deal with Councillor Barker. He vows to fight back, determined not to let Elaine win. Meanwhile, Suki and Eve attempt to rally Priya and Ravi, hoping to steady the family, completely unaware of how badly Ravi is struggling beneath the surface. Thursday, 22nd. Exit plans and emotional fallout. Thursday delivers the biggest shock of the week. Oscar announces that he and Jasmine are leaving Walford. The revelation sends shockwaves through the family, and it becomes clear that this decision could have devastating consequences for everyone involved. On the Mitchell side, Phil prepares to take Nigel to Portugal once Sam's operation is over. Denise notices that Phil isn't himself and asks George to keep an eye on him. Sam heads into hospital for her surgery with Ricky and Jack by her side. When she wakes up, she's relieved to see Phil there waiting for her. However, in a careless moment, Sam accidentally mentions Phil's plan for Nigel in front of George. George later passes this information on to Denise, raising fresh concerns about Phil's state of mind. Meanwhile, Ian and Elaine's feud reaches boiling point. Harvey attempts to step in and broker peace before the fallout spreads across the square, but whether either of them is willing to back down remains very much in doubt. So, that's everything coming up next week in EastEnders, a week full of guilt, grief, manipulation and life-changing choices. Do you think Jasmine is deliberately manipulating Oscar? Will Kat manage to stop Zoe from destroying her own future? And what is Phil really running from? Let me know all your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed the breakdown, give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest EastEnders spoilers and discussions.